Mrs. Todd's, my English teacher, gives an automatic F if anyone ever writes, "I woke up and it was all a dream" at the end of a story. She says it violates the deal between reader and writer, that it's a cop-out, it's the boy we cried wolf. But every single morning we really do wake up and it really was all a dream. I know, right? David, you fucking get it. Hi everyone, here's the Bookamisk once again, and today I'm reviewing Slade by David Mitchell, my very first David Mitchell novel, although I've read some of his short fiction in the past, and although I kinda cried in the theater when I watched Cloud Atlas, which I've always wanted to read, and now I really do want to read, because Slade, spoiler alert, is motherfuckingly awesome. I first got interested in Slade when I read an interview to David Mitchell, a Q&A actually, in which he said that he quoted his influences when writing the book, and of course he quoted all the great names like Shirley Jackson, H.P. Lovecraft, Henry James, Turn of the Screw, all that stuff, because this, by the way, is a ghost novel, it's kind of a horror novel if you were wondering. And he also said that a big influence on him was a choose-your-own-adventure book from the 1980s, in which you are lost in a witch house, and at one point you are, get cursed and you are forced to repeat the same action, which is picking up shreds of a broken teapot over and over again until the end of time. And I myself am a big fan of interactive fiction and choose-your-own-adventure stuff. Today there's lots of awesome stuff in that form, which should be way more widely known than it is. Stuff like Anchorhead, which is probably the best Lovecraftian piece of fiction I've read in recent years. There's stuff like board games like Above and Below, which uses this medium of interactive fiction beautifully. There's lots of stuff. And Slade in many ways captures a lot that same vibe of a choose-your-own-adventure book, in which you wander through this house, through Slade House, you pick up stuff, you really don't know where everything's going. I should probably also mention that just as in the best interactive fiction, you also die quite a lot of times in this book. Yeah, probably shouldn't have mentioned that at all. And you feel like you are the main character yourself. That is mostly because the book alternates. I don't want to spoil you, I don't know how much I should tell you, but the book presents different points of view, different first-person narratives, and each one has an understandable, a recognizable, a very strong perspective and voice. Each one of these first-person perspectives is wonderfully characterized, and each one makes you feel like you are the fucking person, like you are the fucking main character. Even though this is, of course, a standard novel, you don't actually take choices, you feel really like the main character in a video game or in an interactive fiction book while you're reading this novel. You end up rooting for these characters, you end up exulting when they do something clever and like cursing when they do something clearly stupid. And really, it's fascinating how we managed to present you with so many different characters, some of which have quite strong opinions, and you still feel sympathetic toward them no matter what your own opinions are. And as far as the actual horror in this book is concerned, this is also quite blood-chilling. Slade House's horror is more of the kind that crawls slowly under your skin and kind of upsets you. It's not the kind that, you know, makes you scared of go out at night. I'm looking at you, House of Leaves. Bad motherfucker. Slade House also felt very much like basically an adult version of a Goosebumps book, R.L. Stein's masterpieces for children. All those inventive horror stories with monsters and stuff, for which I don't know if you can see, but I have kind of a healthy passion. How is it a Goosebumps book? In that it features all these wonderful and amazing plot twists that sometimes make sense, sometimes less so, but are still utterly awesome on a narrative level, and in that you are together with the characters as they approach the supernatural element of the book, and at first they are, of course, it's all bullshit, but then they slowly start to realize that it's not. All of this makes it utterly awesome. It's really a wonderful experience. It's the literary equivalent, the golden literary equivalent of a movie like Cabin in the Woods. For the more literary minded of you, you should also know that it plays beautifully with ideas of chronology and chronological order, and with the way storytelling influences our perception of time, stuff like that. In general, it's a golden read. Is it perfect? To me, it is motherfucking perfect. Like, if I have to be completely honest, up to the 100% with you, I can tell you that the one thing that some readers might find a bit creaky and might find a bit well, a bit of a flaw about the book is that its horror, its supernatural elements are presented in a very organized way. And at times in the book, you get all these big names about hidden cults and about supernatural phenomena, which kind of ruin a tiny bit, if you are a certain kind of reader, the experience of the supernatural, because they put a tag on it. I think that's because David Mitchell, when he was a kid, he played a lot of Dungeons and Dragons. Another author who did that is China Miéville, who is another author who presents his fantasy worlds, his supernatural worlds in a very ordered way. When you read too much Monster Manual when you're a kid, you tend to, you know, when you talk about monsters in your fiction, you tend to give people their HP and their alignment and all that kind of stuff. But again, in all honesty, that wasn't a problem to me. I just understand that it might be a problem to some readers who are not that interested in that kind of stuff. That said, Slade is an amazing read. It's very short and in a way it flows beautifully. I read it in really 2 days. In another way, it feels longer because, of course, you get, I don't want to spoil you the book, but you get all these different lives and you get so involved in each one of them that at the end of the day, it's not really like reading a short story collection on an anthology. It's a bit like reading 5 or 6 short novels compressed in a 240-page book. It's utterly incredible and I loved it. I really don't have anything more to say other than I'd really like to check out the rest of David Mitchell's bibliography now. I probably won't be able to do it by the end of the year because I'm stuck with many other reads, but I'd like to do it as soon as I can. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Once again, let me know what you thought about Slade and David Mitchell's fiction in general. Now I'm going to hunt for a cat or dog and sacrifice it to David Mitchell. Bye, guys.